In this video, I'm going to talk about the new album by Uriah Heep called Chaos in Color, released on January 27th, 2023 through Napalm Records. This is their 25th album, and this band has been around for a long time. One of the few bands of the 60s that are still active, and also one of the most influential bands on hard rock and heavy metal. So the band only has one original member left. He's Mick Box, the guitarist, and the other members had been in the band since either the 80s or the 2000s. So this is one of those bands where they don't have a lot of original members, so you can make the argument that, is this Uriah Heep or not? But I won't really get into that in this video. And also keep in mind, a lot of the members have passed away. A lot of them actually died in these past 3 years, so it's really good that this band is still putting out music and they're still going strong. And they're a very hard-working band. They have 25 albums over a 53-year period. They have been releasing albums consistently over the years. So if you look at their timeline, their biggest gap was 10 years from 1998 to 2008. But otherwise, they have been putting out albums every 3 or 4 years. And that's very impressive for a band these days. So the album definitely has a sound similar to a band like Deep Purple. And I don't really want to compare them to Deep Purple because they've been around for as long as that band, but I'm just using that as like a reference point. The songs have like an arena rock style vocals, and they use like the keyboards and the hard rock guitars, and the album just takes off right from the start. So you got the opening track, Save Me Tonight, and it rocks pretty hard. Basically the first half of the album is more of like the harder rocking songs. So the second song, Silver Sunlight, that has more of the hard rock guitars and keyboards. Also some pretty cool blues guitar rock riffs. And this band has some pretty nice hooks. I like the sing-along quality of the chorus, and there's some harmonized guitar parts, and reminds me of 70s rock. They use lots of like distorted guitars, but also clean guitars. The song Hail the Sunrise, that one has more like the cleaner and both the heavier guitars. Also the lyrics on this album are pretty good. They're a little more modern, I guess. For example, like this band has always written like fantasy lyrics, but this song, Hail the Sunrise, is more about how our ancestors worked hard to build a society, or that was my interpretation of it. And the vocals, they're very good. The lead vocalist, Bernie Shaw, he sounds very good. He has an arena rock voice. You do hear a little bit of age in his voice, and the guy is 66 years old. At that age, you kind of maybe start to hear a difference, but it reminded me of Graham Bonnet from his last album, and that was a really good album. That was another surprising one. But this song, Age of Changes, I like it. They use backing vocals and has a very full sound. And then there's a song called Hurricane, and this is maybe like one of the harder rockers. I think this is closer to classic heavy metal as opposed to 70s rock. And it has more of those galloping guitar riffs and heavier, energetic rhythms. And the lyrics are pretty cool because they call it a hurricane, and it's about a hurricane, but they describe it as if it's some type of like monster coming to terrorize the city. And if you look at history, and hurricanes have really done some substantial damage, so they can be compared to like this big like monster. So I like that connection. And then towards the middle of the album, they kind of change it up a little. They have a song called One Nation, One Sun, and it has a really like a hard rocking first half, but then they kind of like strip it down towards the second half with some softer piano and softer singing. And it's a longer song of 7 minutes. So at this point in the album, they kind of do some more like progressive rock stuff. The songs on like the front half are more like the harder rockers and shorter songs, and then on the second half, they do some more like longer like progressive rock songs. So on this song, One Nation, One Sun, I like it. Has the bass guitar sound. I like that. You hear it very clearly. They continue. They have another harder rocker called Golden Light. It's just a really great song with keyboards and guitars coming together. It's just a classic 70s style rock song. The lyrics about looking to a golden light when things are not going well, looking for a higher power for guidance. And the song has lots of melody, lots of elements of progressive rock. Then you get towards the end of the album, and you get to this 8-minute song called You'll Never Be Alone, and it's just very epic. And this is one of those songs where it has like different parts. You got some softer verses with the piano, and some harder verses, some harder choruses. And it's a song that goes through many changes, kind of like these progressive rock bands did in the 70s. So it's a really good song, and it's very epic, as I was saying. Towards the end of the song, there's a song called Fly Like an Eagle. Just a harder rocker with more like that 70s style, the big vocals and the sing-along chorus. And the second to last song is probably maybe one of the best songs on the album, called Freedom to Be Free. It's very epic. It has lots of different sections. It's a song that brings back that 70s hard rock and progressive rock. Has uplifting lyrics about living your life to the fullest, living with a purpose. I like the electric bass solo. That one stands out. And there's so many different sections. So there's a part where it cuts to a short piano interlude, and then it goes to some harder rock and guitar riffs and some orchestration. So it's really good. So like I was saying, there's more like progressive rock on the second half of the album. The final song is called Closer to Your Dreams, more of a throwback to 70s rock. It's upbeat, a little more like bouncy. On this song, you have the guitar, the keyboards, the bass playing. They play together in unison, and it's pretty good. It's a little like a different style, and a little more of like a little upbeat, like a fun song. And the album was surprisingly good. Usually these legacy bands, they put out an album late in their career, and you're not really sure what you're going to get, especially like a band like this where they don't really have many original members. And like I said, it's not the band's fault because a lot of them passed away. But the album, like, they sound very fresh. They sound very invigorated. The production's good. You hear all the instruments very well. And it's just that, I keep saying this thing, like, it's big 70s hard rock. And it's really good. It's an enjoyable album. I think it's a grower. I've listened to it a few times, but I'm probably going to have to listen to it a few more. But as of now, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's very strong. It might go up in the next few months, so I will be listening to it some more. But I thought it was pretty good. So that's all. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this album. My next video, I'm going to do a top 10 best metal albums of 2023, and this album will probably be on this list somewhere. Here's a playlist of all the other new releases I've been doing this year, and that's all. See you in the next one.